Alright, so as you already know, Sonic Frontiers is coming out in around 5 days from now. But if you're a reviewer or some of the SonicTubers, you may have already gotten the game early. As you can see here, Evan and Lords from Tails channel got the game early, Chowmix got the game early, Splash Dash or LS Mark got the game early. People are getting the game early. You're probably thinking, how come you didn't get the game early, Premy? Is it because you were too negative? I don't know. I mean, part of me thought maybe it's because people are being clicky and, you know, they don't want to give it to the negative ones. But upon further research, there's plenty of SonicTubers, some with less subscribers than me, but some with significantly more, who don't have the reputation that I have, who are struggling to get codes, especially pre-release. So, I don't know. I might even get one after the game is out. But in terms of the early codes, you know, you could say it's because I'm negative, but I actually don't even know. Maybe they just pick who they know and who they like and they just give them codes and everyone else just fuck off. I don't know. Whatever the criteria is, I don't know. But even to my knowledge, I don't even think Fidel's got a code. If he hasn't got a code, then it can't really just be about negativity, because I don't know. But yes, people have played the game, and most people are being very quiet, but some are giving a little bit of tidbits on what we can expect, especially Splash Dash or LS Mark, as you can see by these tabs. So we're going to go through these things and discuss. There's no major spoilers or anything like that, if that's what you're thinking, so we're not going to get into anything like that. So we're going to all this right now. But let's subscribe to Sharon already. Please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. So yes, Evan from Tails channel played the game and just said, I loved it. I won't answer any questions. This is your frontier to forge. So, you know, not saying shit. And then Lords, also Tails channel, said, go in blind, avoid spoilers if you want the true experience, support this game. This is coming from someone who's hated the series direction since 2010. Sonic is back. So, I'm assuming a lot of that is story related, because those of us who not like Sonic since 2010, a lot of it has to do with the meta era stories and things like that. Obviously, there's gameplay changes as well, but there were gameplay changes before then, so a lot of it is to do with story. Chowmix also got the game. I finished it. Time to get to work on my video. And we're going to get to the real meat here, because Splash Dash has got a lot to say. So he says here, it's fun. I just finished this fun thing. Ending kind of anticlimactic, but there's something at the end that had me stunned. Someone asked, good stunned or bad stunned? Splash Dash replied, good. It's minor though. Throwaway line that caught me off guard. So maybe they referenced something that, you know, you wasn't expecting a reference to. Maybe setting up a sequel. I don't know, but that's pretty interesting. Now you're probably thinking, Prem, why did you skip over the around 15 hours part, right? Are you gonna get into that? All right. So let's back up a little bit. Kishimoto, the director of the game, said back in, what month is it? June, that the game would take the average player between 20 and 30 hours to finish, while completionists can easily spend double the time to see everything. So like 40 to 60 hours, right? So there was some point where I was questioning whether that length was going to apply. And I came to the conclusion eventually that it was going to be, for hardcore Sonic fans, less than 20 to 30 hours, right? I said that maybe if you sucked, you could hit that threshold, but 20 to 30 hours was capped for the hardcorers. Anyway, Splash Dash says he finished it in around 15 hours. Someone responds, 15 hours? Obviously shocked that it's under 20. And then Splash Dash responds, that was my assumption before looking at the actual time. It was more around 12 hours. So around 12 hours, like, is that 12 and a half? Is that 11 hours 45? I don't know, but around 12 hours. I'm guessing they thought 15 because maybe that's how long they were playing the game that day. Maybe there were breaks and things, and the save file just gave them the exact number and said 12 hours and 6 minutes or something like that. And they were like, okay, this is the exact time, you know. So LS Mark was able to beat the game in 12 hours, right? So you're probably thinking, pretty interesting, right? The 20 to 30 hour claim seems to be, I don't want to say bullshit, right? Because I know what people are thinking. Oh, Prem, you had multiple videos regarding the length. You're about to gloat, right? And it's like, no, I'm not about to gloat, right? I could, but I don't need to, because this is not the first time I've been right about something and people didn't listen to me, and it won't be the last. And also, I've been wrong before on things. I definitely wasn't wrong about this, you know, but I've been wrong about things, right? Like, I did that stream where I reacted to all my Forces news videos, and there were plenty of things I got wrong. Things that I was too hype about, things I was too negative about. The one major thing I think I was wrong about for Frontiers, though, I think there's only one thing I've been wrong about, and that was the movement. I thought that in the open world, it was going to control just like Forces, which was horrible control, right? And you can still feel that there's a little bit of Force's DNA in there because they had to take from that code. But the control after playing the demo was surprisingly solid in the open world. And I definitely was wrong about that. So again, I'm not saying I can't be wrong, okay? I'm just saying in this instance, I wasn't wrong. And it's kind of annoying because people were having such a big go at me for just stating my predictions on the length. And it's like, I knew what I was talking about. That being said, am I mad at Kishimoto for lying about the length? No, I don't think he's scummy. I don't think he lied or anything major like that. And I'll tell you why, right? I think we should cut Kishimoto some slack. This is why. Splash Dash or LS Mark, if you don't know already, we did a race, a Sonic Heroes race. His favorite Sonic game is Sonic Heroes, so therefore he's got good taste. We did a race a couple years ago, and you can see the race here. I was third, LS Mark was second. I was about 4 to 5 minutes behind him. It was super hard mode. You can check out the race if you want. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is similar skill level here. Maybe he's a bit faster. So his 12 hours, maybe I'll take 13, 14, 15. My prediction was 15 for me because the IGN dude said he took 3 hours on the first island. So I'm thinking if we just average out to 3 hours an island, I'll spend 15. But he's saying 12. Maybe I'll do it in 13, 14. I don't know. But I was just trying to give you an example of the skill level here. If he's a hardcore Sonic fan, he's doing 12 hours, then a casual who sucks may take longer, right? And on top of that, I saw some of the leaked people playing the game because the game has broken street date, and I'm telling you, people were playing badly. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything because I only watched Chronos. I didn't even look at the cutscenes. But the first ninja boss battle, I saw someone die on that. Embarrassing. I saw people spend like 20, 30 minutes on Asura, on the squid boss, and I did Asura. I did that in the demo, right? So I did that first try. People were spending 20, 30 minutes just trying to get up to the top. I'm telling you, people were playing like shit. Garbage. There was the tower boss. People were taking ages on that. It was like, I saw that and I was like, you know what, fine. Kishimoto, I have to cut you some slack because at the end of the day, people are going to take that long on the game. Just not us. I just did. The reason why I was so harping on the length thing is I don't want Sonic fans to go in thinking they were going to be in this game for 30 hours, when in reality, it wasn't for you. They weren't talking about hardcores. They were only talking about the casuals, right? So it wasn't about us. That was the point I was trying to make, and I think people blew it out of proportion. They said, you hate shorter games or something like, no, I don't hate shorter games, right? One team in Sonic Heroes like a couple hours, maybe 3 if it's Team Dark and you're slacking. But like, I don't hate shorter games. I love like Assassin's Creed 2, which compared to bigger open worlds, Assassin's Creed 2 could be being under 10 hours. So this whole notion of I didn't like the length, I'm fine with 12 hours. If it was a fire 12 hours, I don't give a fuck, right? It was just more so the promotion was kind of selling you on this 30-hour dream. Nonetheless, there's more shit we need to talk about. It's not just a length video. Splash Dash goes into more detail. They ask him, was it good to you personally? And he says, not going to say anything other than broad statements. Fun, but formulaic. You can see that coming. Could have been a lot more. Feels like it doesn't truly utilize the potential of what it is. Yeah, I can see that. Doesn't mean it's bad, though, but just could have been a lot better. Again, very believable. Story is fine. Dialogue is pretty good. Ending sucks, right? So, pretty interesting. Thoughts similar to what I would have expected for my own personal opinions as well. You know, like, story to be good. Ending sucks gives off the impression that there's no new transformation, because a lot of people were speculating that there'll be some new form or some Cyber Sonic or some shit like that. But for the ending to really suck that hard, I'm guessing the final boss wasn't anything more than the standard Super Sonic that you get at the end of every regular island, right? So I don't know. You know, I guess I'm expecting something that's gonna be like just regular Super Sonic again, another Titan, or a boss that's too easy that doesn't feel like a true final boss because you just run through it in one go. I don't know, but we'll see. They ask him, is there some sort of post-game to do? Also, what your initial impression? We've already seen initial impressions, but he said, from what I've seen so far, 0 post-game. Again, though, I could be wrong. Seems to have a similar approach to Unleashed, but after coming back in, the final boss isn't defeated yet. So, like, when you beat the final boss on Unleashed, you go back to the main menu. It's almost like you haven't finished the boss. It's just like, you could just go back into it. It's a bit weird. Like, it's like it doesn't save. So, something like that, you know. But we got more things. This is regarding the length as well. They say, how low can we go? I think they're referring to like the speedrunning capabilities. Splash Dash says, was a casual run too. I completed 70% of some islands in the end. If you wanted, I assume you could beat it in like 3 to 4 hours. But you gotta know all the best routes at that point. So yeah, it seems like the notion that Frontiers is gonna be the longest Sonic game has been disproven. If he's saying you could do 3 to 4 hours, right? And his first playthrough was 12, right? If we look at the how long to beat list, I mean, we can see there's longer games out there. For example, Unleash is classed as 13 hours. You know, I believe Sonic 06, I don't even know if I can type in Sonic. Okay, yeah, 16 hours. Although you could argue load times, but nonetheless, it's saying 16 hours. And the thing is, those games are harder, so even on replay playthroughs, it's going to be more challenging. There's going to be more deaths if you replay Unleashed or 06 versus Frontiers, which is a lot easier. So your replay playthroughs might even be even quicker once you've seen everything. So I don't think it's even confirmed that Frontiers is the longest Sonic game, right? But it seems like Unleashed and 06 are still taking that cake. You could argue Unleashed has metal collecting, which lengthens the game, but Frontiers is full of collectibles, so I don't see how you could count it in one and not count it in the other simply because one is more open world, right? Anyway, I was just making that point. This is an interesting clip I saw. It said movement in this game is nuts, and they're showing, you know, momentum being abused in a way that obviously is unintended, but it's going to be very interesting to see once the speedrunners master the best routes and shit, because this shit is looking crazy right now. Fly all the way up there using essentially an incline up there. And the air boost isn't as OP as Forces, but you can still do some shit with it. And they go here, use another incline, bam. Then they fly all the way there. That reminds you of that bot boost glitch in Sonic Heroes with Big. Like the way he's angled like that. If those of you who watch the Hero speedruns, you know what I'm talking about. And they use it to get all the way there. So it'll be interesting to see how much you could use this to speed up your run through of the game, essentially. But this is a nice little strat here. I hope they don't go and patch this shit out or something and restrict your ability to do some cool shit. Anyway, Splash Dash has got more shit to say. He said, were you going straight from objective to beat the game in 12 hours, or did you do a lot and still beat the game at that time? He said, playing at my own pace, objective to objective usually means doing a lot of the side stuff. So I just did it until I felt like I wanted to move on. So no rushing or anything like that, you know, for someone who might suggest that's the case. They asked him about arcade mode. He said, is the arcade mode just the X shuttle from Colors with the side space, or something else you don't want to say? He says it's X shuttle. So basically just a way to quickly play all the cyberspace levels. Understandable, although given that that's one of the weaker parts of the game, I don't know if I'm going to be using that on a heavy degree, right? If they were crazy in terms of level design, then maybe. But, you know, I don't know if that means you can level select. If it's an X shuttle, does that mean you have to do it in order, or can you just go in and just quickly select the level? I don't know, but interesting point there. We've already seen this one, right? Alright. They said formulaic ending sucks, someone's got a negative reaction, and he says not formulaic in a bad way, you're just sort of doing the same thing again and again, but it's fun. So yeah, it's formulaic, but it's not the worst thing in the world, essentially. And someone said they didn't believe it, and he said, that's fine, play the game for yourself, make up your own mind. All I can talk about is my experience, and for what I was expecting, more from the ending compared to what was given, right? And then they ask about the ending. When they said anticlimactic, like, did the ending feel rushed or just kind of underwhelming? He said both. And what else is here? They ask, without spoiling anything, how did the last two islands compare to the other three? And he said there's a reason they haven't been shown yet, which they ask in a good way or a bad way. He doesn't respond, but that either means the last two islands are fire compared to the first three, or they're inferior. I don't know. You know, you have to deduce that for yourself once you play the game if someone else doesn't answer that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for those impressions. So yeah, people are playing the game. The game is definitely broken street date. These are obviously people that got review copies here, but in terms of the leaked streams I saw that, again, copyright claim left, right, and center, yeah, the game is broken street date. But those people suck, so they're all stuck on Chronos. I think one of them made it to Ares Island in like maybe 4 to 5 hours. Again, like, if you do 3 hours an island, you're looking at 15 hours, right? You do it in like 2 to 2.5 hours an island, looking at 10 to like 12.5 hours, you know? If you do it in like 4 to 5 hours, like a casual would, then at that point, you're looking at 20 to 25 hours, which is what Kishimoto said. At the end of the day, it really depends on how long you take, right? But I saw a casual who wasn't playing well, who was dying on bosses. Within 4 to 4.5 hours, they had beat Chronos, and they had done like 78% completion. So, trust, you know, the game will be a decent length for those casuals. For those of you who are good, first playthrough, expect within that 12 to 15 hour range, maybe. once you come back and you know what you're doing, probably way less than that, because, you know, you'd be able to skip cutscenes and just go from objective to objective. But nonetheless, I'm not mad about the length. Again, I was just questioning potential false advertising, but again, Kishimoto, he did the focus test with the casuals, and that's the number he got. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Are you looking forward to the game? Have you already pre-ordered it, or are you hoping for a review copy? Probably best not to hope for that if you haven't got one already. And of course, a big shout out to all the channel members. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.